Move it, troopers! On the double! Fire!
Hey guys, this is Luke from the Scoundrels Cantina, and welcome to another episode of A Star Wars Story. In this video, we'll be telling you the story of Emperor Palpatine, aka Darth Sidious, after the Return of the Jedi, also known as the Emperor Reborn. He's most notably seen in the Dark Empire Part 1 and 2 comics, as well as in the Empire's End comic. We usually mix the expanded universe and canon in our videos, although this story is based purely in the EU after the events of the Return of the Jedi. Anyway, let's do it! 4 years after the Battle of Yavin, during the Battle of Endor, Emperor Palpatine will be thrown into the Death Star's reactor shaft by Darth Vader, where he exploded into dark side energy, after which the second Death Star will be destroyed, thus evaporating his body. Since Darth Sidious planned to rule forever but never fully learned his master secret for immortality, he did know the technique of spirit transference, which would preserve his spirit after death, as well as had a series of clones of himself created for his spirit to possess if he was to perish. After the Death Star's destruction, Palpatine's spirit journeyed through the void and eventually took possession of one of his Emperor's hands, Jeng Droga, and traveled to Biss, where his clones were kept. There, the resurrected Emperor possessed one of his cloned bodies and accelerated his plan to replace the Galactic Empire with a Dark Empire, which would rule the galaxy through the dark side of the Force alone. While Palpatine was recovering on Biss, in 8 ABY he would receive word that Grand Admiral Thrawn had arrived to the known galaxy from the unknown regions, and in 9 ABY the Thrawn campaign began against the New Republic. When Palpatine learned of Thrawn's death, he was devastated, as he had plans to reveal himself to the Grand Admiral, as well as offer him a place in his Dark Empire. After Thrawn's death and the splintering of the remaining warlords, the reborn Emperor struck the New Republic with a powerful Force storm and swept Luke Skywalker into a wormhole to the planet Biss, where he revealed himself to him. Skywalker knew he couldn't defeat him, so he submitted himself as a Sith apprentice, while in truth was loyal to the Jedi and the New Republic. Luke pretended to be loyal to Palpatine and did everything he could to undermine his Dark Empire, but the Emperor and his most trusted officers knew that from the beginning. The Dark Lord of the Sith quietly countered Skywalker's moves, maximizing his gains and cutting his losses, as everything was less important than gaining an apprentice as powerful as Luke, similarly as used to do in the Clone Wars regarding Anakin. When Leia Organa Solo arrived to Biss to rescue Luke, she alongside her husband Han Solo got captured. Darth Sidious attempted to turn her to the dark side of the Force, tempting her with a Jedi holocron from Master Bodo Bass and stirring her anger by revealing his plan of possessing her unborn child once he was born. Just at once, she flipped over the bed the Emperor was lying on while taking the holocron with her, which pleased Palpatine. Luke Skywalker would help Han and Leia escape before he attempted to confront the Emperor. Skywalker would go on to confront Sidious, whose current body was dying due to the dark side corruption, so Luke went on a destructive spree and started destroying all of the Emperor's cloning tanks. Before he could finish the job, Sidious rose in a young new body of his and seized one of the lightsabers that he kept there from the Jedi Purge, after which a spectacular lightsaber duel ensued with Luke. The young Emperor lashed out with the Jedi weapon, pushing Skywalker to his limits and letting his apprentice know of his superior strength, as no one was a match for him in lightsaber combat. In their blade lock, Palpatine broke Luke's defenses, disarming him, he sabered Skywalker's throat, and thus completing his turn to the dark side of the Force. Palpatine would ensure his turn to the dark side by inserting himself into Luke's mind and breaking his spirit. After this, the Emperor and his apprentice arrived to Pinnacle Base, where the New Republic forces were based, and demanded that Leia returns his stolen holocron and comes aboard his Eclipse-class dreadnought. When Leia arrived aboard the Eclipse, she implored Luke for help, and due to his love for his sister, Skywalker cast off the veil of the dark side that cloaked his mind and turned on his master. Enraged at his betrayal, Sidious pulled out his blue-bladed lightsaber and viciously attacked Luke. Thanks to Leia empowering Luke with Force harmony, Skywalker would eventually manage to slice off the Emperor's hand. Palpatine was hardly finished and summoned a Force Storm against the New Republic fleet, inflicting huge amounts of damage, but Luke and Leia cut him off from the dark side with light side energy, thus the Emperor was unable to control the storm. This culminated in the destruction of the Eclipse and the death of the Emperor, while the siblings escaped the Force Storm. Believing that the Emperor was truly dead, two dark-side adepts of Palpatine went on to destroy the additional storage of clones that Luke Skywalker was unaware of in order to take the throne for themselves, although they would be killed by Executor Sedris, who was loyal to his master. A single clone of Palpatine was left, and so his essence once again possessed his clone body. Darth Sidious's clone body was once again rapidly deteriorating due to the dark side, and even worse, he began to succumb to genetic tampering done to his clones by the Empire's traitor Kana Jax, an Imperial Sovereign Protector. Kana Jax did this due to his own ambitions, as well as due to growing disturbed by the Emperor's erratic use of the super weapon called the Galaxy Gun. With Palpatine's last body wasting away rapidly, he traveled to the planet Korriban to consult with the spirits of the ancient Dark Lords of the Sith. The Dark Lords wondered whether Palpatine would take the empty tomb of Vader and join them, although Palpatine demanded to be healed, eventually learning that his only hope would be to possess Leia's newborn son, Anakin Solo. His dark side adepts escorting him vowed to take care of his new body until it grew up, although Sidious greatly distrusted them after what had happened with his secret clone storage, but he had no other choice. Darth Sidious then traveled to Onderon where Leia's children were kept, while Luke and the Jedi team infiltrated the Eclipse too, looking for the Emperor. In the meantime, Palpatine found Leia and confronted her, demanding his son. She fought back but was no match for him, although before Sidious could enact his plan, Luke and his Jedi strike team arrived. Palpatine immediately killed one of the Jedi with his extremely powerful Force lightning, after which an enraged Han Solo shot him in the back. With his last body killed, Palpatine's spirit flew towards baby Anakin Solo but was intercepted by the Jedi Imperatrice Brand, who trapped the Emperor's soul inside himself. As Brand was dying due to the dark side corruption of Sidious, he became one with the Force and dragged the Emperor to the netherworld of the Force, where he would be locked away in the realm known as Chaos. There, all the Jedi that have ever become one with the Force would ensure that he would never again return and threaten the galaxy. Now, just to briefly keep track of our headcanon in our videos, we don't consider this story as canon for ourselves because it's based after the Return of the Jedi, which we consider to be the happy ending of the Star Wars story. This is just our personal opinion as well as preference, which is what headcanon is for. Not to mention that the Dark Empire story completely undermines Vader's sacrifice, the prophecy of the Chosen One, and episodes 1 to 6 as a whole. On the other hand, we love it nonetheless because it was a really fun and creative story, and we understand its existence because it was created before the time when the prequel trilogy existed and before the Chosen One prophecy was even a thing. With that said, our headcanon still stands, but we really love this story nonetheless. Anyway guys, this is it on the story of the Reborn Emperor, and we hope you all enjoyed it and learned something new about the vast galaxy of Star Wars. If you enjoy our content, make sure to check out our second war channel, The Crossroads Inn, and if you want to watch more videos like this one, the links to the playlist for other Star Wars stories and videos will be in the description down below. Also, if you want to support this channel, hit that subscribe button for more videos like this one, and remember guys, God is awesome, may the Force be with you always, and we'll see you in another video. You rebel scum.
This party's over.